Last time on Thermidor Matrimony.
In the back of the classroom, I said, I'm cool, I'm not here to meet nobody, I'm not trying to talk to nobody, I'm just here to do my work, get up out of this classroom.
And unfortunately, also at that time, Caleb did not want a girlfriend.
At all. At all. Anybody know at all.
So Caleb, wow. Caleb did not want a relationship, and I did. So, you want to go first?
Yeah, since you let her put me on the spotlight. But when you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready.
Are you done? Ow.
But I really didn't want no relationship from the jump. So take it back about 5 years ago. In class. So I met her or whatever, this and that, but where I was with God, I didn't see Jazz there spiritually, so it was like I already didn't want a relationship. And if I was going to entertain the idea of a relationship, it had to be with someone, who could stand toe to toe with me spiritually. And us just be there on the same level. I didn't want us to be, unequally yoked together, as, the Bible says. So when I didn't see her walk, or I didn't see her, there spiritually with God, in that personal relationship, it was just like, off the bat, it was like, nah, we can never be nothing, you feel me? Because I had a mindset, I'm like, if I'm even gonna entertain the idea of a relationship or, consider someone as my girlfriend, it gotta be someone that I can see longevity-wise, like down the line, as far as, my fiance, then my wife, it's like, if if you're gonna be my girlfriend, I'm gonna be in a relationship with you, I gotta be able to see you at that end goal. And if you don't meet those criteria, it's like, wasting time, what we're doing, you feel me?
Okay, so the truth. So yes, me and Caleb, we met in class, and it was just such a beautiful, beautiful time when we met, and we really, I want to say it lightly, but we really fell in love with each other. Like, of course, we wasn't baby. We did.
I know, I'm playing, girl. I can't.
So, anyways,
I still play cool.
We pretty much fell in love with each other, and I remember one of the first conversations me and Caleb had. He was walking me to my car after we left from class, and he told me that he wasn't looking for a relationship. So of course I was just like, okay, you're not looking for a relationship, but that's because you just met me, and so I was feeling myself. And so we kept talking. We would text almost every day. We would text. Either I would find something to say to him, or he would find something to say to me. And of course, being that we were in class together, it was just easy for us to talk about stuff because we had like assignment stuff to talk about. Like, we could always fall back on that. And so we started seeing each other a little bit more. And I think the first bump in the road, because I know that he didn't want a relationship, but I didn't know that it was so definite. Like, I thought that it was just like one of those things where it's just like, oh, well, I'm not looking for a relationship. I did not know the depths of it. So the first time we kind of talk about it, where there was like a bump in the road, I was asking him what were we? Because we were starting to hang out outside of class. We were texting more. He was coming in SGA to see me. He was telling me that he missed me. He was telling me that, he liked me. And I was saying the same thing. So I was just trying to figure out, like, what are we? And he pretty much said something along the lines of just like, well, I'm a child of God. And wherever that takes me is what I'm going to be, whether it's your brother or it's your friend. So I'm just like, duly noted. You want to tag in?
Oh, I'm going to let you say your part, then I'm going to give them the whole story.
Okay, because you didn't even mention it. Anyways, so pretty much I was just kind of like, okay, well then on that note, like, we're done. Like, we're not talking anymore. Like, I don't even want to be your friend anymore because I like you. And so I think, what was your reaction to that? Your reaction was just like, okay, no, I agree. Yeah. His reaction was just like, yeah, his reaction was just kind of like, okay, yeah, like, you're right. I don't want a relationship and I don't want to lead you on. So let's just not talk anymore. And we looked through our text messages and we're not really sure what happened between that time and maybe 1 or 2 days later.
But
the next time we talked, we said it was so nice to see you.
You know what that means. No, let me bring it back right quick. You feel me? You know, so what did you say that I was like? Hold on, I'm gonna tell them the whole story.
Oh, because I was talking about the text message I sent you.
Oh yeah, so you know, y'all know me. I got the receipt. You feel me? Ain't nothing to pull up the screenshot. So what really happened was she hit me with the, you know, she said something like, you know, trying to ask what are we, and she said something as, you know, she said I don't have friends.
Okay, you're right.
Which I was like, first of all, you're a female, and off the bat, like, what do you mean you don't have friends or whatever, this and that. So what she tried to do was put this category of you're either friends or you're family. And if you're family, of course, since I'm a guy, I would be a brother or whatever, this and that. So I'm like, and she said she don't have friends. So I was like, well, that's funny. If you don't have friends, then, you know, what am I to you? And then she said, you know, I'm still trying to figure that out. So I'm like, okay, aside from me, like, don't you have other guy friends or whatever, this and that, and she's like, oh no, nobody are friends. Every guy is a brother, this and that, and I'm like, all right. At that point, I thought she was running game.
Tell them what they want to hear.
I'm like, she running game. I'm like, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna believe that I'm the only guy you're talking to, and I'm the only person you consider a friend. I was like, that's dead. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Because, you know, like what she said, my response was, I was like, you know, this is what it is. You know, I'm a child of God, I'm a man of God, and you know, if you don't want us to move that way, that's cool. I respect it, because I knew at the end of the day, I liked her, but I knew I didn't want to be in a relationship with her. So I was like, because it got to a point even where, you know, at one point, despite how she said we both was like, you know, it was nice seeing you, it got to a point where, you know, we reconnected again and started hanging out again and started communicating, to the point where I was like, yo, look, check, like, I really like you, you feel me, you know, and I know that I don't want a relationship, and off the bat, before I even not want a relationship, it would have to be a relationship with, you know, a woman of God, of standard, you feel me, this and that. So it was like, I like you, but you know, my flesh like you feel me? My spirit don't really like you, because, you know, you're not even up there with me in the spiritual realm. So it was like, you know, I'm really playing myself, but, you know, to my flesh, it was satisfying. It was like, you know, someone to kick it with, someone to vibe with, someone to, you know, like, it felt good. So,
and so, you know, that was my truth back then. Like, I really didn't know that there was more to this walk. Like, and I think that that's just the truth for a lot of people who believe in God, and, you know, who are in this tug of war of trying to figure out how to really and truly walk with God. So yeah, pretty much that's where our difference lies. And that's, of course, me looking in hindsight. I didn't know that at the time. So we kept talking, we was hanging out, we was having a good time. It went from me breaking it off with Caleb to Caleb breaking it off with me. And somewhere along the lines, we would always, you did break it off with me.
You broke it off first?
I definitely broke it off.
Girl, we both looked at the messages,
and I said
Jit, you was like, we gonna skip to the biggest messages, and who had the biggest?
I said it first.
All right,
you tried to be like, no, we gonna
remember this, please. Remember this, please.
I said it
remember
first.
This, please. Remember it. Please
I
talk.
said it. I said it first because.
And before we jump to that, I just want to say earlier when you said something about, as far as how I told you I didn't want a relationship, but I was still doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So like for me, I was like, I'm gonna tell you what it is from the jump. I'm gonna tell you, look, I don't want a relationship. I like you. If you want to move forward, that's on you. I'm not forcing your hand, and that's how I move. So when I told Jasmine that up front, and when I saw Jasmine still trying to kick it with me, in my head I'm like, okay, I already told her what it is. I told her what I don't want. I told her, you know, for me it was like, I'm telling you what it is. If you continue to move forward, that's on you. I'm not forcing your hand. I'm not telling you, hey, come along with me on this journey. It's like, look, I like you.
Where did you get that
but
from?
I don't want to be in a relationship with you.
Where did you get that from?
I mean, to me, it's like, you feel me? Like, I'm telling you what it is, and if you want to keep on going, you keep on going.
But where did you
Not
get
you
that
personally,
from? I know, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't feel like that concept is valuable.
It's probably not, but that's where I was back then.
I know that's where you was back then. But it's just kind of like, I just don't understand why. Ooh, never been a person to say one thing and do another thing. And not even just another thing, but a completely different thing.
Don't let a lie to y'all.
I just really felt like what? Who does that? So that's pretty much where a lot of the frustration and the bitterness started to come up, because I was just like, this man is texting me, this man, like, we're seeing each other, he's popping up in SGA.
Don't forget your note that you're sensitive.
But for me, it was just kind of like, okay, like I didn't understand where that came from. So that's pretty much where the differences lied, and that is where, you know, we started to kind of pull away a little bit. Like now I remember.
You remember?
I sent him a text message, and I was pretty much laying it out for him. Like, I don't know what's going on. What did I say? I was saying something along the lines of just like, oh, you know, I don't think we should talk anymore because this isn't healthy. I like you, you like me, but you don't want to be in a relationship, and that's fine. It was a very long message.
You talking about the 4th of July?
Yes.
Girl, that was after I said what I said.
But it don't matter.
But yeah.
I pretty much kept putting the fork in the road. Like, I kept being like, okay, now let's be done. Yeah. And then he was just like, he gonna respond and talking about, I agree. Oh, they grow up so fast. Oh, I'm glad you said it before me. You would have let it, if it was up to you, you would have let it go on for a lot longer. For sure. So for me, I was just kind of like, I gotta go. And I started to build resentment against Caleb because I knew that if, you know, he never right out told me why he didn't want to be in a relationship with me. He never really gave a reason outside of just being focused. And so, did you?
Probably not. I don't know. I'm just laughing at what you're saying.
Yeah. So I didn't know. So I just started to build resentment against him or whatever. And so I was like, well, you don't want to be in a relationship? That's cool. You know, I'm not going to allow myself to continue to be emotionally connected to somebody who, you know, doesn't want to move forward with me. And that was that.
And guess what happened, y'all?
I got into a relationship.
Coming up on episode 3.
I remember one particular night I was in Pennsylvania, and my ex-boyfriend at the time, he was with me, and Caleb had texted me, and he was like, what is this nigga texting your phone for? And I was just like, who? And he was like, Caleb. And I was just like, I was a little excited, to be honest with you. I was like, what'd he say?
The girl need help.
Let me see that. Oh man.
That's to be more.
But what I didn't know is that So it's the end of the video, and you already know what we want you to do. If you haven't already officially joined our family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and please turn on the notifications so that you can be notified when the next episode airs.
But I'm just subscribing. I'm gonna need you to like, share, comment, and send it to everyone in the world. For sure, you know, subscribe, and, you know, more importantly, above all else, you know, just keep us lifted in prayer, you know, as we're, you know, trying to make sure that we're fulfilling what God has called us to do and align ourselves with Him. And as we'll do the same for you as our viewers and watchers, you know, praying for you and keeping y'all lifted in prayer.
Yes, absolutely. And if you have an amazing love story, we want to hear it. Please go ahead and comment it down below in the comments box, and we will make sure to get back with you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.
God bless.
God bless.